this is me, Craig Ferguson. I'm inviting you to come and see my brand new comedy hour. Well, it's about an hour and a half, and I don't have an opener because these guys cost money. But what I'm saying is I'll be on stage for a while. Anyway, come and see me live on the Pants on Fire tour in your region. Tickets are on sale now, and we'll be adding more as the tour continues throughout 2025 and beyond. For a full list of dates, go to thecraigfergusonshow.com. See you on the road, my dears. My name is Craig Ferguson. The name of this podcast is Joy. I talk to interesting people about what brings them happiness. My guest today is not this animal here. This is Zelda. She's one of my dogs. Seamus, my other dog, is somewhere else. But we're very excited because the guest on the podcast today is Cesar Millan, the very famous, the best dog trainer in the world, and the dog whisperer. And he's going to whisper to you today. I'm whispering to my dog. All right, Cesar Millan, enjoy. So listen, you have to tell me again. Your first show is a show of the first, dog thing you were doing in England. You were worried about your accent?
I was worried that I wasn't going to pronounce the English proper, right?
Oh, in England.
That was scary.
Yeah.
English comes from there. So I learned English in America, and I learned it in the streets and listening to the radio. So it's very street-like, and I listen to Rick Dees in the morning, and then Jada.
You learned English from Rick Dees?
Rick Dees in the morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
At one point I met him, and we went to crustaceans, and I told him, listen, I learned English through you. So then Jada Pinkett came, and she hired a teacher for me to learn the verbs, because everything is backwards in English.
Yeah.
And so I knew dogs. I just didn't know how I was going to teach this group of dog lovers, right? Because I never experienced people that love dogs at this level in my life.
Well, English people, they're crazy for dogs.
They're mad.
Yeah, everybody in Britain has a dog. And most of those dogs are crap. They're terrible, hopeless little dogs. My dogs are here, and I don't want them to feel like I'm not talking about you.
That's right. Let them know.
They're very excited, actually, that you're here. Zelda, come here.
What do you have?
Come here. He's here. You get to see him. Come on, up, come on. And I'll show you. Look, he's right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
Now, I also have a Jack Russell who probably won't come up right about now.
Okay.
Do you ever get everybody wants to show you their dog, right? Is that a thing?
Yes, especially with the phone, with their phone. Look at my dog.
Yeah, people come up and show you photographs of their dogs.
That's right. Especially at the airport.
Yeah, when you're running behind and stuff. Seamus, come here, up here. Look, just complete the set. Don't disappoint me. Come on in.
Be a good Jack Russell. That's right.
Yeah, he's actually the only good Jack Russell we've ever. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
All right. Hello. So here's why I wanted to show you these guys, because they're very unruly. And what I want to talk to you about, you, of course.
Yes.
But I do want to talk to you about the halo collar, because that's the thing you're doing. And I'm very interested in this. Talk me through it, please.
First of all, it's beautiful to be part of technology, right? Because the first time that I saw technology is when I was a kid watching the Jetsons, and it was Astro on the treadmill. Right. That's technology, and when I came to America, I saw treadmills in people's garage, and nobody's were using it, humans or dogs, right? So I learned that technology can help a dog, and the treadmill world is, a lot of dogs were not walking enough. Different from Europe, right? Because Europeans walk a lot. But people in LA were not walking. So I started in LA doing, my job. I was a dog walker. Right? I started walking dogs for people. I was walking 40 dogs at the same time, and that's how I became known. And it's a Mexican guy in South Central that walks a pack of dogs off leash.
40 dogs at the same
Yes.
time? That's crazy.
It's crazy, right? But that's literally how I became known, because this crazy
People would see you doing it.
Yeah, this crazy
Right.
thing, and I'm Mexican, so they thought I was a gang member. They didn't think I was like a dog walker. But later, later people, I understood why I was doing that. So I started using treadmills, because people say, I don't have time. Oh, don't worry, you have a treadmill. Let's put a dog on the treadmill, right? So, but I learned about the treadmill through Astro.
On the Jetsons. That's fantastic.
From a cartoon.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they say the guys that came up with the flip phones and the iPhone were watching Star Trek in the 1960s, and they're like, oh, let's do that. It's like, so they watch the science fiction, and then it becomes part of life. It's amazing.
So then, fast forwarding, and now, I'm learning, okay, what can I do for the world? Besides teaching the world, besides, teaching about energy, philosophy, actions, how do I help the world to stay focused and to stay consistent? Because this is where the biggest problem for dog lovers, right? To stay focused, to stay consistent, to stay disciplined, right? So it's 3 activities that a dog needs to do in order for them to have a good life: to follow you, to play with you, to explore. Follow, play, explore, right? And then each activity has rules, boundaries, limitations. Right. And so this is where people have difficulty. Number 1, they don't know how to walk a dog. Number 2, they don't know how to play with the dog. Number 3, they don't know how far can the dog explore, follow, play, explore. Right. So by creating a technology that can help you with the rules, boundaries, limitations, it would allow the dog to become more organized, more disciplined. And then the behavior that you repeat will become imprint and memorize. So the color is literally to help a dog remember follow, play, explore, rules, boundaries, limitations. Because a lot of times, dog lovers, they just go in their mind, and a lot of people are walking with a dog with their phone
with the
on.
phone, yeah. I did that today already.
Their mind is distracted. So when you are with an animal, like people that ride horses, they're more disciplined than dog people, right?
Right.
They're more in tune to the horse. And because they're focusing on safety. Dog people focus on affection. They focus on love. They focus on fun, right? So the expectations are different, but that sets the dog to fail. That's why there's a lot of dogs in shelters, because they developed the wrong problem, right? But it's not because they were born with the problem. It's the human created the problem by not understanding, by not understanding, what makes a dog happy, healthy, loving, smart. And so
what does make a dog happy, healthy, loving, smart? I mean, like, how do you, like when you said you got to know how to play with your dog.
Yeah.
Like, I think I know how to play with the dog, but I don't know. Like, I throw a thing, the dog brings it back. Actually, doesn't really bring it back, sort of brings it back, and then runs away with it.
So for example, on the play, a lot of times people think that by throwing the ball 100 times, the dog has more fun.
Right.
Right. But if you wait and you hold the toy and the dog goes into calm surrender and waits for it, then you throw it, that has more power than if you throw the ball 100 times. Right?
All right.
Because throwing the ball 100 times, it creates a stamina, but also creates this fixation, right? So the dog, you're going to take the breath into such a high level of playing that this dog, now you're going to see the pupils dilated. Versus when the dog is waiting for the ball, then you throw it, then you send them to fetch for the toy. And it's best when the toy actually hides and the nose finds it. It's not really ideal when the eyes and the ears are only playing. You want to play with the toy? You want to, right? So people play more like Chuck E. Cheese. It's very Chuck E. Cheese-like, right? Versus it's more calm, waiting, the dog can't surrender. You throw the toy, you let him wait.
And the dog likes this better?
Because that is more in the way they hunt, right? So they're more quiet, they're more calm. Right? They go get it, but they're not crazy getting what they're hunting, right? They're very organized. Everybody participates. Everybody's in the same frequency, in the same state of mind. Everybody has their job. And you see what I'm saying? And so the mind goes into patience, calmness, confidence. And then, of course, when they get what they need is love, joy. So the celebration is after. Most people do the celebration. There is no waiting. There is no calmness. There is no structure. It's a very chaotic way of playing. That's why a lot of times when people bring two dogs and they're in the same fixated state in a dog park, they end up fighting.
Right.
Because it's two fixated dogs going after the same object.
Right. And they're pack animals. They really want to work as a team, right?
They do. And as pack animals, the human needs to take the front position, which most of the time people take the back. So this is the dynamic right now as I help people in America. Dog is in the front, wife is number 2, kids are number 3, husband is number 4. See, the guy was in the back of the pack. The dog was in the front. Wife is number 2, kids are number 3. So I have to change that dynamic because it's unnatural, right? So it should be mom, dad in the front, kids right behind the parents, and then the dog is in the back. If you go to Mexico, that's exactly the dynamic, right? So in Latino communities, the grown-ups are the pack leaders. And then the next generation and at the end is the animal, right? And I'm not saying they're less than, it's just there is no knowledge behind instinct, it's all reaction. Right. So we have to make sure we control instincts by all of us participating as pack leaders who love the animal.
It's interesting to me then, how does that manifest? Because I hear you on this, and I struggle with this a little bit sometimes because I love my dogs. Yep. But I'm inconsistent a little bit with the dog. Sometimes you're in the mood where you can be focused on the dog, and sometimes you're like, give me a break for a minute, especially if you have a Jack. Actually, you know what? I got to be honest, the Jack Russell is not the worst. I have a German Shepherd who's lying down right now, and I'm not going to say her name, but she's a very, very needy animal. She'll come up to lick all the time, always kind of looking for something, and has a very difficult time settling. Is that my fault that the dog's like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because the dog, so the nose is telling the dog, go smell this, or the eyes, or the ears, or the dog is anxious, and they learn to calm themselves when they lick the human, right?
Right.
But if the human doesn't create like a distance, the dog never knows how to wait, right? So one of the great things that happened, with all my respect to the people in COVID, is the word social distance. Right. Remember that? So watch your hands, cover your mouth, social distance. Social distance in the animal world means respect. Most indoor dogs do not practice social distance because the humans allow intimate approach without any kind of agreement. So the dog is just listening to the excitement, right? The dog is excited, the human rewards, and sometimes the human doesn't want that, but the dog is not clear. So when do I give you social distance, or when do I come into your intimate space, right? So it's four positions in proximity: intimate space, personal zone, social zone, public zone. The dog is very important for the dog to go away from you and wait at a distance. It's actually a job or an activity, but most indoor dogs do not know how to wait.
When you say, what do you mean by an indoor dog? Is that like a dog who's just like a pet who only goes for walks with the owner and that kind of thing?
Yeah, the new dog now, right? Because, many years ago, the dog was not indoor unless you were super rich.
Yeah, right.
So those dogs did practice social distance. So, generations before, would the dog behave a lot better? Yeah, of course, because they had more rules, manners, limitations.
Right. So like that, this is a thing that between my wife and I all the time. I'm like, you shouldn't let the dogs on the furniture. I'm sure I've heard you say that before somewhere, that when the dog gets up in the furniture, it's crossing the line. Am I right with that, or did I pick that up wrong?
I think you can definitely copy the horse people, because horse people are really good about inviting versus invading. So they recognize, right? So they don't mind to invite the horse. But if the horse do it on his own, he end up invading, right? So can a dog go on the couch? Can a dog go in the bed? Absolutely. Just let the dog wait for it, wait in a calm surrender state, and then you offer this luxury, right? So that way, when the dog goes into the couch or into the bed, the dog is in a calm surrender state, not claiming. Because what happens a lot of times when the dog does it on his own, he claims. Right? Because
I wonder if that's that's the same German Shepherd I'm talking. Again, I'm not going to say her name because she's lying down. But the but she's very greedy, like almost obsessive eater. Like eats everything all the time, always kind of. Which I've never. I mean, we've always had German Shepherds. I've never had one who was kind of like that. Who was like almost like a compulsive eater sort of thing. It's weird.
Well, when a dog doesn't have like a good outlet for work, right? They also can develop obsessions, right? Because they're confused. Well, what do I do with this energy, right? I'm a dog. I'm a German Shepherd. So there is two things that this dog needs to fulfill: the dog in them and the German Shepherd in them, right? Remember, affection is energy given to the dog. So a lot of times people give affection to the dog while the dog has not worked yet.
Oh,
so I give affection when I empty the tank of the body, and when I empty the tank of the mind. Then I give affection, because then I'm going to give affection to a calm, surrendered dog, right? Then the dog is going to say, "Oh, my human loves me when I'm totally calm, surrendered." But he truly loves me because he knows how to drain the tank of the body and the tank of the mind. Those are two different from affection, right? It's like literally like a Navy SEAL. Right? Is body mind, right? So animals or dogs to me are more like Navy SEAls.
Yeah, certainly mine are right now. They're looking at me with a great deal of suspicion. They've heard your voice before. You're like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah. How does then? Because I'm interested when we're talking about the technology and the Halo collar. How does that actually work then? What does it do?
Well, a lot of people, here in America, their biggest dream is the American dream, is for me was to become the best doctor in the world. That was my dream, right? And and to come to America is where they value dogs at this level. It was the only place, right? And so for American people, walking a dog off leash or going to the beach without the leash is a big dream, right? But then the nose of the dog is going to kick in and it's going to move. So if the dog doesn't have clear boundaries, he's going to keep going. He's going to come back, but people are going to get scared, right? Or the dog can get a little bit distracted and not know how to come back, right? Because he's not allowed to practice that, like dogs in Mexico. A dog in Mexico comes out of the house, he goes to the next town and comes back, right? Comes back. So we don't have to worry about the Halo collar, right? So the dog maintains his instincts. So what I'm doing with the Halo collar is bringing back the instinct so your fear can go away. So your hesitation of not trusting your dog can go away, right? Because now with the Halo, we're going to have this invisible boundary that you can't see. They can only feel it. So you are going to be able to put it through your phone. I want my dog to be 100 feet away from me when I'm at the beach, and you can change the distance, right? You can just create whatever distance you want. And so once the dog hits or is about to get close to the 100 feet, the dog receives the message. Obviously, you train the dog before you go into this real case scenario, and so that way you can go and take a nap on the beach, and the dog can still have fun because now it's inside this Halo.
Is it like a shock collar thing? Is it like an electrical?
So you understand. So everybody understand the sensation of the shock, right? When do they do it, or when does that happen? If the level of intensity is at 10, you need something like that. But if the level of intensity is 0 to 5, you can just do vibration, or you can just do, and that snaps the brain out of it, right? So your parents did it with you. So if from 0 to 5. But if you went to 5 to 10, instinctually, there is a physical contact to snap you out of it. You see it? So the shock is not to hurt you. The shock is to snap you out of it. And that's because your intensity is too high, low, medium, high, right? So I tell people, listen, if your dog is 0 to 5 and you've done the homework right, you're only going to use vibration and sound and eventually repetitions of that. You don't need it because the dog knows what's expected at the beach. The dog knows it's 100 feet. The dog knows is, if you go to the dog park, when you are in the city, the dog knows you want them in the intimate space. So they have to know that when you're in the city, don't go too far. That when you're in the beach, they can go this far.
Right.
So the dog learns how to be in the environment.
How long does it take? Does it vary from breed to breed then, I guess, or just from dog to dog, how smart they are?
You know what I notice over the years is it takes 21 days for you not to do it any other way, right? So it takes 21 days to create a new habit. Right. So in 21 days, if you do it exactly what we tell you to do, the dog will develop the understanding. Right. So it's not that bad. 21 days for you to be consistent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say every day, 5 a.m., you do the So it needs to be some kind of ritual, right? So the dog expect and know, so the human feels this way. The human is wearing the shoes because they pay attention to everything. Right. And that's how you develop a habit. You see it in the beginning, the routine. Yeah, you need to create a routine so the dog knows, 5 a.m. means this, the smell of this means this, what I see, what I hear, all of that is involved. The dogs learn nose, eyes, ears. It's through the nose of a dog, right?
Yeah.
The eyes, and the last thing is the ears. So putting the leash on the dog. Yes, putting the leash on the dog. I don't say a word, show the leash, the dog comes, I put the leash on, I wait for the dog to relax, and then I move. I do that every single day. They see the leash. It means calmness. We're going for a walk, right?
So it's interesting because I do like the opposite. I'm not going to say the W word right now. It'll go crazy.
You see? Yeah, you got to spell it. You got to spell the word, right? So when I did my first consultation in LA, people were telling me, spell the word. Don't say ball. Spell it. I was learning English. I didn't know how to spell. Right?
Oh, no.
But they were telling me to spell it. So you see, so when you start a ritual of a walk, you want to go for a walk? What you create is this euphoric expectation where a dog can't contain himself. And then you put a leash on, and then people say, wait, stay, sit, wait, we're going. Don't worry about it. See, the humans start talking a lot. So the more you talk, the more you create this frantic energy. Shh. And as soon as you open the door, boom, right? Yeah. And then,
100%.
My dog comes down 10 minutes later. I know, but it's going to be a bad habit. So if the person is not as strong as you are, that dog cannot be walked by a toddler. Versus the way I create a ritual, a toddler can walk the pack of dogs that I have.
That's very interesting to me.
You see, it's really peaceful. So it's peaceful walking with him.
If I'm going to get the halo collar, right? So, because I am, what I want to do it like there's instructions with it and how to use it and how to do all that.
Yes.
Okay.
So the training part is you get to read it, you get to see it. We got videos and everything, but it's very important that people remember 3 energies that no dog people use it, which is the silence, the calmness, and the confidence. Most dog people do love, joy. You see, those are 5 energies. Right? Silence, calmness, confidence. Those are the teaching energies. Love, joy, those are the reward energies.
Oh.
Right?
You guys will be getting too much love, joy. That's your problem.
But they get excited. They get excited, right? And then the dog, by receiving this energy from the human, the dog sees the human as a soft source of energy. Because love is a soft source of energy, right? Versus calm confidence is a stronger source of energy. Calmness creates trust. Confidence creates respect. Calm, confident. Therefore, you can give direction, protection, right? So what is what we all humans want from our pack leaders, from our presidents? To be calm, confident, love, joy.
Right.
Why? Because we want safe, peace, love. We want trust, respect, love. We want to be able to do exercise, discipline, affection, activities, right?
It makes a great deal of sense when you put it that way. Let me ask you this: How did you come to this? Do you have a dog right now?
I have a pack of dogs.
Yeah, you do? You have a lot of dogs?
I'm a pack guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And Latinos, we're like, it's all about the pack. We can't be by ourselves. It's all about the pack,
So how many dogs do you have?
Right now we got 10 only because I travel a lot, right? I travel a lot, but I started with 65. And I raised my 2 kids, Andre and Calvin, among a pack of dogs. Right now, they're helping me. One is 30, the other one is 26. So they learn, the energy, the philosophy, the actions. We have a ranch. We got to pitch in, they got to pitch in the pack. So right now we got 10 because, I travel all over the world because I want to help the whole world.
That's fabulous.
So 10 is okay.
Do your dogs, do you travel with, the dogs can't travel with you, all 10 dogs, surely.
When I go to England, it's hard because it's an island, right? If I go to Australia, it's hard to bring them there. But any other place, like I brought my pit bulls to Europe and we did a tour and to show, the people about, plus they were in love with Daddy and Junior when they were alive and the Europeans wanted to see them. And so, so if they allow me.
It's a much maligned breed, the pit bull, isn't it? The pit bulls I've come across are, every one that I've met, I've heard the horror stories, but the pit bulls I've met be very affectionate dogs.
It's not the breed; it's the human behind the dog. Remember, we are the one who's creating the Doberman. We're creating, the Boston Terriers. We're creating them. So we also created the pit bull. So it's our responsibility to understand what is it that we're bringing home, right? Because it's in every breed is a dog. So I don't really focus on the breed. I focus on the dog.
Focus on the dog.
Different breed. We're a different race. Okay. But we're all humans. So we all need the same thing.
Sure.
The breed is more like the food, the music, you know what I mean? The women we like. But,
I got it. Yeah.
You see, but we're all humans. You, me as a man, we need the same things.
I get it. What about, so how did you come to it? That's what I was going to ask. Are you like a country kid? Did you grow up with a lot of dogs around in a ranch and that kind of thing?
Yes. Most immigrants that come from Mexico, we come from the farm, right? So we know the land very well and we know the animals very well. So if you go to Kentucky, I guarantee you that all the guys there are Mexicans or they're Latinos, right? Taking care of the horses. Anything they have to do with the plants is we're doing it. Why? Because we come from the farm. Right. So that's our school is Mother Nature. Our school is the animals. And of course, we're traditional. So we listen to our grandparent. Right. And so we come with rules. We come well behaved, wanted to work. Right.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I came with that already. Right. But I also came with the dream of being the best in the world. And then when I saw, I love this quote of America, that's not what the country can do for you. What can you do for the country? And I grabbed that. I said, I can teach the country how to connect, communicate, have the best relationship on earth with their dogs. And then I got the show, The Dog Whisperer. That was my first show. I didn't came to America to get a TV show.
Huge hit, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's massive. But let me ask you this. Do you ever meet, because we live in the times we live in, do you ever meet resistance to the work you do?
Yes. You know why? Because I used the word, and back in a long time ago, dominance, right? And so in the dog world, if you use that word, it's actually a negative. But I learned, from watching the Lakers. The Lakers dominated the court. So to me, it was, that's leadership. Okay. And so I start changing words from dominance to assertive to confidence. So right now, everybody's okay with the word confidence, right? Nobody ever had a problem with the word calmness. So a lot of times it's the words that I use. A lot of times is the contact that I do with a dog. But again, I'm working with dogs who are extremely aggressive, right? So without me, they get medicated, they get isolated or put down, right? And so I come in and I put a dog in the pack, or I put a dog in the pool, or whatever people don't think is the right thing. By the time I finish with the dog, that dog is alive, that dog is safe, and that family is the happiest family on earth. That's why 20 years on TV, so they can hate as much as they want, but the proof is in the pudding, as they say in America.
Yeah, they will. Look, can I ask you this? What about? Do you ever meet a dog you just I can't reach this dog. I can't do it.
We just finished season 5, and I met a dog named Brunello. Okay, and this guy came from Italy, and this lady wanted a dog with some kind of handicap problems, and this guy was blind, deaf, and had a neurological problem. Okay, yeah. And then it developed an obsession to grab things from the floor in a very aggressive way. to the point that one time he took the pants from the lady in the middle of the street and left her naked. So this guy is blind, is deaf. The wires inside are not connecting. Okay?
Yeah.
That's neurological. That's why, having dogs from puppy mills are not a good thing, guys. But because, they're not breeding well-behaved, genetics. But
Right.
regardless, this is my work of art, right? Because I didn't know how to influence it, right? I didn't know how he can't hear me. He can't see me.
Yeah, he can't hear you. He can't hear you and he can't see you.
He doesn't know how to calm down. His nose was incredible, but his nose was so obsessed to find objects. So he was 6 years old. 6 years old. So for 6 years, he's been repeating the same thing. Well, 90 days later, we rehabilitate.
Wow.
Yes. So
That was the toughest one?
Is blind and deaf. I mean, I have aggressive dogs, but they're not blind or deaf.
Right.
So that was, it should be easier because he was blind and deaf. It should be easier.
Right.
But that was mind blowing to me. I never seen a case like that in my life. Ever.
So aggressiveness in dogs, it's okay, baby. Aggressiveness in dogs is, it's very common. Is it a manifestation of fear? Is the dog insecure? Is that what it is?
Well, if it's a front of the pack, it's true aggression. If it's a front of the pack, it's true aggression, right? Like police dogs. So in order for a police officer to have a police dog, they need a front of the pack. They can't have middle or back. Now, when a dog is middle back and is behaving aggressive, it's fear.
Right.
Right? Because he's not supposed to give direction protection. Middle and back dogs, they're not supposed to move forward and bite. You get it?
Right.
Yeah, so most dogs are fear aggressive because there's a lot more followers than leaders.
Got it.
In every litter is only one pick of the litter. So it's only one. So you can only get one pick of the litter per litter. The rest are going to be middle of the pack.
Does that happen in every litter then? Is there always one?
Yeah. Just go with the German Shepherd people that they're doing Schutzhund dogs or they're doing police dogs. They get one dog per litter. The rest are pet quality or run off the litter. That's how they name it in the breeder world. Pick up the litter.
Come up here. Let me show me. Are you a leader dog? Are you a leader dog? Look at this dog. This is not a leader dog.
That's a middle of the pack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a middle of the pack dog.
Yeah, it's a happy-go-lucky one.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah, the eyes tells you, who they were born as well. Right?
Right.
So when a dog is too sensitive, that's a back of the pack. When a dog is it has this happiness, that's a middle of the pack. When a dog has this strength, that's a front of the pack. You can see it through the eye contact.
Can you see, in every dog you see, you can tell right away what you're looking at?
Oh, yeah. But that's what I am assessing and evaluating, right? How does a dog feel and what position that dog was born to be?
Right.
So I can help them. So, right? Because that's what they want. Do you know what position, what is I born to be? Right? And do you know how I feel? Because most people, they already, by the time they come to me, they're just devastated, right? And they already created a lot of stories in their head. So my job is to reality versus story, right? Okay, this dog has anxiety, but it's a back of the pack. Or this dog has fear, but it's a middle of the pack, right? Very few, every once in a while, people bring a true front of the pack. And those are easier, by the way. Because they're oh my God, yes. It was a dog named Batman, a Chihuahua, but it was a front of the pack. But they treated him like he was a middle of the pack. And this dog was just going after everybody. And so
every Chihuahua I met, I think, has always been a front of the pack. They're always front of the pack.
But you know why, right? You know why? Because the people keeps constantly bringing it up here.
Picking them up.
Little dogs develop this Napoleon complex because the owner do not address the situation. The owner pick the situation. Right. So the dog end up being bigger than anything in front of them. Right. And then they get affection. And of course the dog is they're going to do that. Of course. Because they've been rewarded to do it. They've been reminded to do it. People with little dogs, they pick them up. They don't address it.
And so so the dog thinks that if I behave a certain way, I'll get the love. And so I behave that way to get the love. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, right? The dog is responding based on how the human responds, right?
It's very interesting. I'm just watching my dogs as I'm talking to you right now, and the way that they're playing, like the Jack Russell is lying down, showing his belly,
Mm-hmm.
and the German Shepherd is licking his belly. That's like, but is that dominance? Is that submission? What's going on there?
No, they're playing. They're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Just
can look.
it doesn't mean
if
that
you
much.
listen, if you close your eyes, you can feel the energy, and that gives you much accurate feeling because you're not supposed to assess and evaluate things with your eyes. You're supposed to feel it, right? You're supposed to
very
be able.
interesting.
Yes. So how would a cat be in that situation? The cat will feel that those dogs are playing, and that's where a cat will come. But if the cat feels that there is tension in the room, the cat will stay away. Or the cat will come and stop them, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens here. The cat is not around right now, but the cat's in a bad mood, and that's a whole different thing. Do you ever try? You ever try and train? You do other animals too? You ever?
I have two cats. I have a chinchilla. We have two birds. One, the macaw, helps me a lot with the personal space. And then we have llamas, alpacas. So I created a community the way I grew up with different animals, so people can see that their dogs can mingle with other species. So one day when you come to LA, I want you to come to see this 43 acres city that I created. It's
I'd
like
love
my
to
own,
see that.
like my own Universal Studios. Yeah, and then one thing that we should do when you come is we bring a really bad case so you can experience the transformation in the moment. You see,
maybe I can bring my dogs.
Bring your dogs, of course. Bring the dogs, and I can help them introduce. If you never introduced it to a llama or to chickens or to cats or whatever you want, right? So I can break it down for you. That's definitely a much better way for people to experience what I talk about: energy, philosophy, actions, trust, respect, love, safe, peace, love.
It's very interesting because to hear you talk about it makes so much sense, and yet it kind of is different. Come up here, Zahar. Come on. Oh, no, not like that. But it's very different to the way that I've been behaving with the dogs. I love my dogs, but I kind of reward them for doing the wrong thing,
right?
And I think that's where I'm going wrong. I get it now,
right?
It's very interesting.
So if we become more simple, right, more natural, then we go after calm, surrender, happy, go lucky. So that's what I give affection to. I don't have front of the pack. I don't need front of the pack, right? I rescue middle and back of the pack dogs.
Right.
Because they're going to accept your dog quicker than the front of the pack.
Right.
So I can have 10, 20, 30, right? And so that way I carry the front of the pack, or my kids or anybody that works with me, they carry that position. So it's like you having a business and you leave the business and then somebody has to carry that position. You get it? So same thing with a pack of dogs.
Not everybody gets to be the CEO, right?
No,
it's like the front of the pack dog is CEO.
Front of the pack, that's right.
Right. Got it.
In a family of humans and animals or dogs, is all the humans become CEO in order for your children to do, what they need to do when you're not there. Which is great. It's a good responsibility. It's a good activity. Eventually, our kids can practice calm confidence or love joy, or they can practice all of them at the same time. Calm, confident, love, joy. Because that's what I do. When I'm helping people, I am calm, confident, love, joy.
Do you never? It's funny how you seem like a very confident man as well. You seem like you know what you're doing, and you're getting it done. Did you ever experience doubt when you were starting out? Did you ever think, I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure this out, or you just always felt like you had an affinity with the animal, and that was, you knew what you needed to do?
When it came to my goal in life, I never had hesitation. Right. It's like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. I'm guarantee you that those guys never hesitated for that. But I'm pretty sure that we had weaknesses in some other areas.
Right.
So like any other man, we're good here, but we're not good here. Mm-hmm. So I had a great relationship with animals all my life, or with dogs all my life, not necessarily with women. Right. So that was my weakness. My weakness is not knowing how to choose the right female for me.
Right. My guess is you don't want to go front of the pack. Don't go front of the pack. I get it.
You see,
It's
so
very
I have my
interesting.
weaknesses. Yeah.
Do you think that you learned how to deal with people more from dealing with dogs? Is it informed you in any way, or is like a completely different set of rules?
Well, the human rationalize, so the human goes right into the story, right? And
Right.
so when the story and the emotions get together, this human takes a lot longer to move on, right? So,
Right.
but when you go back into your spirituality, live in the moment type of thing, and it's about life and death, and then you are more to the reality. Right. So a lot of times people don't want to live in the reality. So I have to help them come from their story to the reality. With a dog, they don't want to live in the story. They want to live in the reality.
Right.
They want to be happy, healthy, loving, smart. And the human is like, hey, you can be happy today. No. Not right now. I'm not ready. Some people postpone happiness. Some
Oh,
people
sure.
postpone health.
Forever.
Some people postpone love. Some forever. Right?
Yeah.
Some people postpone being smart. And smart doesn't mean like Elon Musk smart. No, I'm talking about just smart. Just make the right decisions. Make good decisions. Remember good things. What I tell
Yeah.
my kids, the mind is for three things: to learn, to achieve, and to teach. That's a good use of the mind.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, your spirit can tell you what to do, your instinct can tell you what to do, and your heart can tell you what to do. So trust your spirit, respect your instinct, love with the heart, create with the mind. Right? Because that's how I did what I became. I became the dog whisperer because I trust my spirit, respect my instinct, love with my heart, create with my mind.
It's a much more kind of spiritual approach than I thought. Are you a religious man?
Yeah. Well, I grew
Yeah.
up Catholic, but I don't go to church, but I do believe in God, right? I do
Right.
believe that God is the pack leader. He gives you direction, protection, as well. He gives you love and joy, but he
Right.
first gives you direction, protection, right?
Right.
So for me, God first gives you the masculine energy, then it gives you the feminine energy, right? Yes.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating approach to, and clearly successful. I mean, I don't know if it's just a coincidence, and you can't see right now, but both of my dogs are lying at my feet like good dogs. They're both behaving very well, which I don't understand because
Well, you're learning. So if
Yeah.
when we get into the zone of learning and we like it, and then this calmness comes in, and then our mind
Yeah.
goes into this. Yeah, that's making sense. That feels good, right? And so that creates a different vibration. You don't have to tell a dog lay down. You just have to feel calm, confident. The dog will do the rest,
Yeah.
right? So that's why often I don't
It is
talk.
fascinating. It's interesting because in order to get the dogs to do what I want, I thought I had to get them excited. And it's kind of the opposite, right? It's like you don't want to do that.
Tell the horse people to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, the horse people make the horse go forward, backwards, sideways, whatever they want, but they don't do it excited. They do it
Yeah.
calmly, quietly, and a lot of body language, a lot of intention, right? So the horse have to feel what you want, know what you want, and it's all about never losing the trust and respect from the horse.
Right.
And how do you achieve that? Silence, calmness, confidence. You see, so if it works for a horse, it works for a dog. It should be easier with a dog because a dog is being domesticated for such a long time that he wants to be with a human.
Yeah. This one does. Come on, man. Come on over. Come on over and say hi. We got to go, but I just want you to say hi.
Yes.
Say hi one more time.
One more
Say
time.
hi one more time.
There
There
you
you
go.
go, baby. There you go. Hey, is it true
You're
that
more than
is it-
welcome to come to the ranch.
I'd love. You
Yes.
want to go to the ranch?
I'm inviting her.
Is it true that they get some kind of dopamine from the ear scratch thing? Is that a thing?
Any massage.
Yeah.
If you find that spot,
Oh.
right? Because not every dog
Yeah.
like the ears, right? They all have the spot. Once you find the spot,
All right.
then you have the other level, which is something that among dogs they don't get to practice. That's where we have to take advantage. That we can
Right.
trigger this dopamine for a long period of time if we want to. We can
Yeah.
we can create hypnosis in the dog if we know how to do it, and the dog will just stay hypnotized for a long period of time.
That's the Jack Russell. If we do that under his chin and sing him Tura Lura Lura, the Irish song, zones right out. So that's what it is. That right, Seamus? Is that right?
That's right.
Nah.
That is right.
Listen, it's been so nice to talk to you. I feel like my dogs are better. I'm a better man. Everything's working out great.
Thank you.
Oh, you okay? You okay?
Oh, brother.
The dog fell off the chair. Oh, sweetheart, you're all right. Thank you so much for being on. And when we're out in LA, I'd love to come and see that ranch. I really would.
Yeah, that's once in a lifetime. You have to see it. The world have to experience it because, it's a very magical place. I have helped a lot of lives there, and the energy, you can feel the energy.
I would love to see that. More power to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.